man. It's always something happening in Alabama, Tennessee, or is it Nashville? Florida. It's always. Okay, Alabama man fatally struck roommate with a metal pipe argument over a Pop-Tart. A Pop-Tart. You guys, Pop-Tarts is not what it used to be, and it's not that good. They did all that. Old men, old fools. A 59-year-old suspect has been charged in the beating death of his roommate over an alleged Pop-Tart theft. Pop-Tart theft. No wonder I'm noticing when I'm going to places, certain places, I'm seeing icebox, refrigerator, freezers locked up. I understand that. I understand why. Ozark police announced a manslaughter charge against Daryl Miley, Miley. He was booked into the Dale County Jail early Friday and remains held without bond. Okay, so here they say Miley is charged in the slaying of a 63-year-old Billy Joe Maynard. According to police, an ambulance was called April the 4th to Maynard's home on Walton. He was taken to the hospital for treatment. That's it. That's his home. And this guy fighting with him, you gotta be careful letting people move into your home. Maynard was able to tell investigators that the assault had happened days earlier. He later died. The autopsy showed that Maynard died from blunt force trauma. He sustained 3 broken ribs and a ruptured spleen. That's a bad way to go. During an interview with investigators, police said Miley confessed to hitting Maynard with a metal pipe in the stomach area. He told them they were in a heated argument over the reported Pop-Tart theft. I mean, I heard of, we've seen the little Eggo commercial. Don't let go my Eggo, or let go my Eggo. Now we got let go my Pop-Tart. Oh, you stole my Pop-Tart, so I'm going to get a metal pipe and beat the living daylights out of you. Old men, 59 and 63, fighting over Pop-Tart.
Behind bars, and police believe it was all over a missing Pop-Tart. Dead, another behind bars, and police believe it was all over a missing Pop-Tart. Police arresting that man's roommate days after accusing him of beating the victim with a metal pipe. WDHN's Christian Jones is in Ozark with the latest tonight.
A Dale County man is now dead after an argument over a popular breakfast item turned physical. Ozark resident Girl.Daryl Miley is now being held in the Dale County Jail after being arrested and charged with 1 count of manslaughter over an argument about a stolen Pop-Tart.
Correct. It was over food items, specifically a Pop-Tart.
On April 4th, Billy Joe Maynard, a roommate of Miley's, called emergency services to his home in the 100 block of Walton Street. According to Ozark Deputy Police Chief Michael Bryan, Maynard made the call to Ozark EMS days after he was attacked.
He'd called medics out due to an assault that took place, due to an injury he had on his abdomen area. Medics got on scene, observed a softball size bruising on his abdomen side area.
According to Chief Bryan, Miley assaulted Maynard by striking him with a metal pipe in his stomach region. Maynard then suffered 3 broken ribs and a ruptured spleen. A few hours after calling emergency services, Maynard died from his injuries while receiving treatment at the Dale Medical Center. A preliminary report says that Maynard died from blunt force trauma. Chief Bryan says that Maynard was struck once in the stomach, but a final report has not been given, and it could have been more times. On Thursday, Miley was arrested by the Ozark Police Department. During an interview with investigators, Miley confessed to assaulting Maynard, admitting to hitting him in the stomach over a heated argument over a Pop-Tart theft. Miley is currently being held without bond, and if convicted, he faces anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison. A man claiming to have known Miley for over 5 decades says that this type of behavior is not uncommon for him, saying that he once carried around 2 knives and was known to try to harm others. In Ozark, Christian Jones, WD.
I don't know. I would like to know more information if there were any other people in the home. Are these men married? Are they working? Or is anybody on Social Security? Is anybody on food stamp? They've had to fought before over food, over bull crap. It makes no sense. Prayers go out to Mr. Maynard. Can you imagine letting someone move into your home, trying to be nice, trying to be a good person, trying to be a Christian person, and that person takes advantage of you into your life? Sounds like something from Lifetime movie, you guys. Another Lifetime movie. This story here, I almost wasn't gonna tell it or talk about it. This is from HuffPost. Teacher of the year allegedly sent 11-year-old student over 60 love letters. This man, I don't know how old, his name is Dylan Dukes. Dylan, what a name like that, Dylan Dukes. He sent this child 60 love letters. She's 11. It's still wrong even if she was like 15 or 17. 11? I just shared with y'all when watch my video, the video I did on the Jocelyn Nugarai story, and then there was some other young preteen stories that were similar to hers. That seems to be some type of age that these old pervert men are attracted to, these little girls in that age, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so here, a 27-year-old South Carolina teacher was accused of stalking an 11-year-old girl to whom authorities say he sent over 60 love letters. Anderson County Sheriff Office announced Star Elementary School teacher Dylan Duke was charged with stalking after deputies said he was inappropriately communicating with a former student. She don't even go there anymore. He's still trying to hook up or something with an 11-year-old. I guess he's taking that. What was that little man that would write the children's story, Lewis Carroll? Golly. After an investigation began Monday, detectives who searched Duke's classroom reported that they found several photographs of Dukes and the 11-year-old stowed in his desk, according to the news release. Authorities stressed that the photos were not sexual in nature. Okay, they were not sexual in nature. Deputies said that Dukes had been stalking the girl since August 2023 and feared his actions were leading toward criminal sexual conduct, according to an arrest warrant.
Accused of sending love letters to a former student has been given $50,000 bond by a judge.
27-year-old Dylan Dukes is charged with stalking. Our Maya Payton was in the courtroom this afternoon. She joins us live now with the latest. Maya.
Yeah, Nigel, Carol, all eyes on Dylan as the judge granted bond. Now, his face was rather blank, judge. Now, this is a rather disturbing case, as I'm told by the Anderson County Sheriff's Office. Now, they say it was only just recently that Dylan joined the church where the student attends. And he did this after realizing that she would not be returning back to the elementary school this upcoming school year. Now, the mother says she told investigators that's when she noticed that Dylan was being a little too sweet to her daughter. She said that he would often get upset and often pout during church service if the girl did not give him a hug. And also, the mother, again, an emotional statement to the judge, explained that her child has had, displeasure, uncomfortable feelings in places she should have felt safe, and that is both at school and at church. Now, Dylan Dukes is a music teacher at the Star Elementary School and was the school district's teacher of the year last year, which his lawyer repeatedly mentioned today in the courtroom. Now he finds himself facing a felony charge with a court date set for September 17th. Now here are the details of the investigation from the sheriff's office. Deputies went to Dylan's classroom this week and found many photos in his desk. Well, they say they were non-sexual in nature, but all of the pictures are of him and the 11-year-old girl together. Now, they say that Dylan gave the child a personalized box as well with 60 love letters, a letter for each day of the week during the summer break. Now, the sheriff's office says the notes were all on index cards, including statements like, "I love you very much," and "I've missed you."
She felt forced to have a relationship with him, forced to give him hugs. He gave her Christmas gifts and, of course, these notes. And there's just a lot of things that he was crossing the line.
Well, I asked investigators whether there was any other student involved in this, and they said that is something that they have had a question of themselves. But as of right now, this is the only report. In Anderson, I'm Maya Payton, WYFF.
All right, go ahead.
Dylan Dukes became obsessed with my child when they joined Forest class. He used my family to gain access to them. He preyed on my emotions and manipulated me by convincing me that he was suicidal and depressed. He attended my child's functions outside of school, and he started attending our church. I've now realized that this access to my child had continued to grow his obsession. He has written my 11-year-old child over 60 notes just since June. Notes that talk about how amazing my child is and how much he loves them. And I agree, my child is amazing. My child is so sweet and innocent. And wants to ensure that no other children experience the stress and fear that they have. My child has had to endure moments of uncomfortability in places like church, school, and sports. Where my child should be comfortable and able to enjoy being a child. My child has had to be handed love notes from an adult male countless times. We have feared for our child's safety and for their own mental health. He has completely taken our family for fools. But our child will not be uncomfortable any longer. We ask that the seriousness of this situation is considered for our child's safety. We pray Dylan gets the help he needs so that this never happens to another innocent child.
My appreciation to everyone who was involved in this case. The urgency and seriousness has not gone unnoticed. As a husband and father, it is my responsibility to ensure the safety and well-being of my family. Given Mr. Duke's unrestricted access to our family over the years and the unknown intentions of his obsession, I cannot feel secure in knowing that he is not going to put my family in danger. I ask you to consider this in any decision that is made today.
Ms. Davis, you speaking for the family, or Mr. Dukes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
Your Honor, my client is raised here in Anderson County. He went to T.L. High School. He graduated in 2019 from USC with a degree in education. He received Teacher of the Year last year, and one of the benefits of being Teacher of the Year is that you don't have to participate. You don't have to do your morning duty. He's the type of guy that still did morning duty, even though that's the dreaded job of most of the teachers there. Mr. Dukes his family's from here. His dad and brother actually were also here with his mom this morning, thinking there might be a bond hearing this morning. They were not able to be here this afternoon, but I have no doubt that he will abide by everything that I tell him to do. He will have no contact whatsoever with the child or her family. I would ask the court this is not the time for punishment. This is to make sure that he reports to court when he's required to, and that he not have any contact with the family and the child in this case, and he absolutely will not. He lives here in Anderson County. His mom lives in Pendleton, and I would ask the court to set a reasonable bond. I would ask for a PR bond, but I understand if the court requires a surety, but the family does not have great means. They would have a really tough time making any kind of substantial surety bond. And I think that a low surety bond or PR bond will absolutely ensure that he will report for court when he needs to.
All right, anyone else? Okay. And you're going to advise Mr. Dukes not to make any statement at this time, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Dukes, you'll have the following bond conditions. You are to have no contact with the victim or her family. That includes attempting to contact her, have others contact her or her family on your behalf. Do you understand the no contact order?
Yes, sir.
All right, based on the charges, I'm going to set this as a $50,000 surety bond that you will have to have posted prior to being released. You can either have a bail bondsman post that for you, or you can have someone post a cash bond in that amount, which would be held and returned to them once the case is disposed of, or you can have someone post a lien against real property in Anderson County. Do you have any questions on how to post your bond?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor, would that be a 10% cash or the full?
No, it'd be the full amount, no 10%.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
What is this guy married? I wonder if he's still living at home with Mama under the basement. In addition to the letters, Deuce had also given the girl gift cards, ornaments, pictures, and had given her unwanted hugs, all of which made her feel uncomfortable. Okay, so let's get to it. What are y'all gonna do to this creep, to this demon pervert, Chester the molester? An attorney representing Dukes at his hearing urged the judge to grant him bond, stating that he is not a flight risk and adding that he had been named Star Elementary Teacher of the Year in 2023. I don't care nothing about that. He's a pervert. See anything. They're not protecting these kids. They're not protecting the family. This man can still break into this child's house, go to the church, hold them hostage, do it to another child, and they all doing this thing. When they commit these crimes, what do? They delete themselves. They delete everybody and take themselves out too. Okay, this story, this is my last one, you guys. People. Colorado dad allegedly killed, deleted wife and daughter with an axe. He claimed he lost his job and feared homelessness. Now that's why I like to read several different, stories, because in one of the stories they just said he didn't want his wife and kids to be homeless. Now he said he looks like, I can't tell what he is. He looks Indian or Hispanic. I'm not sure. So authorities arrested a Colorado man for allegedly murdering his wife and daughter. Arapahoe County court records indicate Reginald MacLaren has been charged with first degree. MacLaren, 81, he looked like he's 100, is accused of murdering his wife and daughter and then stuffing their bodies into individual trash cans in their Englewood, Colorado living room. I know that was stinking. Police say one of the victims was also dismembered with a saw. I don't know what's going on with people dismembering bodies and talking about that, you guys. They still haven't found all of that other young lady. Watch my video on the story I did about the young girl down there in, I want to say, was it Wisconsin? What was that young lady's name? I want to say Miss Anderson. You guys, I hate to say, there's so many of the stories, but that's the new thing now. They delete those people and they want to cut them up like in the Saw movie or something. So signing their affidavit, the arrest, Denver Post identified the victims as Bethany MacLaren, that's his wife, she's 70, and their daughter Ruth, she's 35.
She was a nurse in the Indian Army. This is Ruth right here when she was young. The only pictures that the jury got to see of them were the pictures when they were dead.
For the past week, Ann Hines was in court for Reginald MacLaren's trial, the 83-year-old who killed and dismembered his wife Bethany and his daughter Ruth in March of 2023.
The hardest part for me was hearing how many times he had struck his daughter with an axe.
Hines didn't know them when they were alive.
A few days after the murder, the Arapahoe County Coroner's Office contacted Colorado-Nepal Alliance to see if we could assist finding family members of the two victims. By the end of the week, we had found their relatives in India.
Hines is the executive director of the Colorado-Nepal Alliance. She's been keeping in touch with the family for more than a year. On Friday, she was able to tell them a jury convicted Reginald MacLaren.
The prosecution had a very good case, and they just reiterated all the pre-planning that had gone into these murders. He had purchased the axe, the saw, and the trash cans. I think I was hoping to try to understand why these two murders had occurred, but I left without any answers.
No answers, and even less closure.
I thought maybe having him convicted might make me feel better, but I don't. Ruth and Bethany are still deceased.
Hines read a note from one of Bethany's close friends in India.
I have known Pavitra Rana, also known as Bethany, for the last half a century. We both belong to Kalimpong, a small hill town in eastern India. She was warm and friendly, but reserved socially.
Wanting to make sure Bethany and Ruth are now remembered for who they were, not how they died.
May their souls rest in peace.
Tonight about the axe murders of an elderly woman and her 35-year-old daughter. Arapahoe County prosecutors charge an 81-year-old Englewood man for killing his wife and daughter back in March.
It's just an awful story. We now know why the daughter was unable to escape. Investigative reporter Rob Lowe joining us with what autopsy results have revealed. Rob?
Jeremy, those autopsy results confirm what a source told me weeks ago. The daughter couldn't escape when her dad started swinging an axe because she was severely disabled, diagnosed with cerebral palsy. Inglewood police say Reginald MacLaren admitted to killing his wife and daughter and chopping them up afterwards. He was arrested at his Inglewood home on March 25th after the elderly man called 911. Officers responding to his home found body parts in 2 trash cans in his living room. Reginald admitted to police it was his 70-year-old wife Bethany and 35-year-old daughter Ruth. He told officers he struck his wife with an axe first while she was sitting on the couch, knocking her unconscious. Then he struck his daughter in the head. Autopsy reports I received today confirms the daughter Ruth had cerebral palsy, which explains why she could not escape when her elderly father attacked the mom first. Cerebral palsy is a developmental disability that can cause all sorts of muscle weakness and even partial paralysis, so Ruth was unlikely to move without help. She was virtually helpless when her father attacked her second and her mom first. Reginald MacLaren told police he had recently been fired, had no money to pay the rent, and feared his family would soon be homeless. He supposedly told police he had no regrets killing his family, as he knows they are in a better place. That autopsy report I received this afternoon shows Ruth had 23 chop wounds. Her mother had 6. Reginald MacLaren is due back in court in mid-July for a preliminary hearing. So far, his public defender has not asked for a competency evaluation to determine if the elderly man knew right from wrong when he admitted killing his wife and disabled daughter. Rob Lowe, Fox 31.
And didn't regret their killings. Golly, y'all. Kim MGH TV reports MacLaren said he knew what a miserable life that homelessness was.
Reginald MacLaren is guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder, and that is one of our top stories for you. The bodies of his wife Bethany and daughter Ruth were found in an Englewood apartment last March. Prosecutors say he killed his wife with an axe after he lost his job, and he worried that they would lose their home. He was also found guilty of false reporting after calling police to say that someone else murdered him. He's scheduled to be sentenced to mandatory life in prison without parole next month.
This doesn't even make sense. He's 81. 81, you delete your 70-year... You guys, some of this stuff can be extremely confusing, crazy, idiotic. This is an abomination when you dismember. This is an extreme abomination. You're 81, you're going to get unemployment. You're going to get unemployment. You're 81, I'm pretty sure he's still got a few family friends still alive. He got a 35-year-old daughter. She should be working unless she's disabled. She will get a check. It's not the end of the world. I'm so tired of people. It's not the end of the world because you done lost your freaking job, people. You know, it's not the end of the world because your wife or your husband walks out. It's not the end of the world because your wife or your husband say they're not attracted to you anymore. You've gotten overweight. Or your husband has decided that he doesn't want to be a high-powered lawyer anymore. He wants to be a farmer. He wants to be an artist. It's not the end of the world. You guys, prayers go out to this man's wife and his daughter because they didn't ask for all that. If he wanted to take himself out, take yourself out, old man. But he took them out. But he left himself alive. He didn't unalive himself. Evil, demonic. We're living in the last days, and if you don't stay prayed up, oiled up, get that holy water, get that holy oil, anoint your house with the sage, with the sea salt, with the kosher salt. You guys, I don't know. So hey, leave me your comments, what you think, what you have to say. Do you know any stories like this? What would you do if you lost your job? If your husband got up and walked off, or if your wife got up and walked off, I got a story about that, but we'll talk about that another time. So again, I want to thank you guys for supporting me. Do not forget to click like and subscribe. Say healthy, happy, and blessed. Thank you.